I even showered, you know.
Let me
If I
try
would've known
this.
that, I wouldn't have.
No, I'm not doing
All right, we are at 6 o'clock, so we will call this impromptu, or what do we want to call this? Special planning board meeting to order. And we don't have a consent agenda to work through, so we're going to go right into new business with an ordinance.
Now you can see us.
An ordinance amendment request.
Not that that's anything great. Okay.
We, Dennis is
Luckway.
Thank you, sir. Dennis Lacquay of DXL Limited LLC will be in attendance to present to the planning board his request to allow.
Excuse me, it's DKL.
I'm sorry, what did I say?
DXL it sounded
sorry.
like?
I'm
It's
sorry.
fine, I just want to make sure that.
Absolutely.
It says DKL.
Okay.
Thank you for the correction. though. DKL Limited, request to allow for a child care facility in the C2 Highway Commercial District, more specifically at 810 Dykeman Drive, Painesville, former Shopko building. Please see Mr. LaQuay's request and submission of $100 for a special meeting fee. He has asked that this be expedited due to the timeline to purchase, close, remodel, and have the business up and running by September 2021. This type of business is currently not allowed in the C1 Central Business or C2 Highway Commercial District, nor by a conditional use permit. City Attorney Bill Spooner is preparing an ordinance amendment, which I believe everyone got. Is that okay? So yeah, that's where we're at. I will, rather than read all this, I will just kind of turn it over to you if you're comfortable just giving us a brief synopsis.
The real synopsis is, I've been in the child care business since, for 16 years. This is our start of our 17th. We started with a center in St. Cloud, and now we have 4 centers in St. Cloud. We were approached by Cold Spring to put a daycare center in there, and we purchased the First National Bank of Cold Spring and had that building raised. While I was doing that, we were approached by M&M Lumber. He said he was looking at remodeling my house for me, and he said, you should buy this building right across the street from us and put in a daycare center. So I thought, well, we have a model that has been extremely good, and if I build one in Cold Spring, the building here would be just a natural fit because we only build one kitchen to handle both daycare centers. But then I was approached by Leo, and Leo asked me to take a look at his building, and we saw that and said this is a perfect building for us. And we've decided to put the building in Cold Spring on hold until this operation is up and running. We plan on putting a 132 space building consisting of 36 infant spaces, 32 toddler spaces, and 60 preschool spaces. We anticipate hiring, but not more than 29 employees, but I expect it to be around the 25, 26 employee mark. We know we pay very well for the child care centers. Our lowest paid employee makes $11 an hour part-time. Our highest paid makes well in excess of 50 grand a year. So that's the directors of the centers. So we think we can benefit the community by doing 2 things. Number one, I've done all the surveys, and we've had Tama Tice is our representative, and she's the head of she's on the committee for child care. And the child care in this area, I could double that size. I could take over the whole building and put in 200 kids, and we wouldn't have enough.
Right.
Plain and simple. I think it would benefit for the community. We are 4-star rated centers. All my centers are 4-star rated. That's as high as you can get. You can't get a 5-star. We were one of the very first centers, or we were part of the first group of centers to get a 4-star rating. We were the first center to get grants for childcare. My wife dealt with autistic children for 13 years, so she has a big heart for those, and many of those come from families that need additional help. We do accept families that are on assistance, and we do not limit them. If 100% of my people are on assistance, we'll take the 100%, because we do have the wherewithal to wait the 2 months for the money that you have to wait for. If you're on assistance, you got a 2-month lag there, and that really is hard on a lot of centers. Fortunately, I have a good relationship with the bank. My wife runs the day-to-day operations. I do all of the human resources, the building, things of that nature. I own several companies. One is a construction company. It was to help my insurance clients out. I've been in the insurance business 46 years, so I know what doesn't work and what does from my clients. They always dwell on what doesn't work, right? And I think that we've got a model that will fit perfectly. We've already got the building designed. It'll take 3 weeks for the bid proposals from the different shops. From the biggest one is the plumbing, because that has to go to the state, and that'll take 3 weeks minimum. That's why the hurry is, because we're talking 6 weeks. We're hoping to get a 504 loan through the SBA. We've already been approved conventionally, but we'd like to get the 504 through the SBA, and that's the reason for the other reason for the expediency, because it has to be in place by September 31st. And that means that the building has to be done.
Yours was only 30 days in September.
Okay, thank you.
And again, I appreciate the explanation. Again, this is almost more of a formality, but I thought it was good to at least have that out in the public sphere in case people are watching via the cable networking, so we all know kind of what we're discussing. And I personally have no questions for you, sir, but maybe some of the other board members do.
May I be recognized by the chair? So one of the concerns that we might want to think going forward, and you've probably already thought about this, just because it is flanked by 2 highways, toddlers are notorious for getting out of areas, and so if you were to do a Google search, there's some incidences of that.
We have never had an incident like that, ma'am, because we have a different model than anybody else does. First off, the children will be brought into the building, and we have a teacher meet the parent at the door. We do not use card keys. The doors are always locked, so they have to physically take possession of the children, and especially with the COVID, we don't need to let the parents in right now. So the building is being designed so you have a one-way entry. Second, the only way out of the building is through the emergency doors that we're going to be putting for the rooms. They can't do that. Third, the playground is going to be behind the building, and that will have a 6-foot fence unless there's a rule against that here. I had to put a 5-foot fence on part of my property in St. Cloud because they have a rule. So we've already planned that out. And then when the parents pick up the child, it would be the parent's responsibility once they leave the premises. Our design is so that the parent has to come in and physically take possession of the child. It sounds like it's a product, right? But really it is. These are our most valuable products we've got.
Right.
So we're very, very concerned. Some of my employees, when we bought Child's Play, the building was never locked. And they said, why are you so paranoid? I said, you know, Disney World was not paranoid until the alligator ate the child. And that's our views. Because of insurance, I'm always looking, what's the safest way? We have never lost a child. I'm talking about just lost one. And it does happen. You're absolutely right.
So I want to say thank you for choosing Paynesville to move forward first rather than Cold Spring. That means a lot to our community.
The building's built.
Yes, and we're so grateful. So.
And that was my concern also, but having that frontage road so that people don't have to worry about it. I have never come down 55. I fish out this way and out at I think it's called Rice Lake. And then I go to Spicer, Limmer, Green Lake and out that way. So I'm always cutting across this way. I didn't even know that was there.
Well, we're glad you found it.
Yes. And you can thank the people that own the building. They actually approached me. And if it wasn't for them wanting to put something in there that they thought would benefit the community, I guarantee you I wouldn't be here. They were really instrumental in having us come.
I think we're probably all in agreement, so unless there's any other concerns.
We just have to set a
Yep.
hearing.
Any other comments or questions for the gentleman? I would make a motion to set an ordinance amendment public hearing for Monday, May 17th, 2021 at 6:15 PM. Is there a second?
I second.
80 seconds. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. I think we're done there, sir. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you very much.
This will go to the council meeting at the end of the month then, Jim? Probably? Yes. Yeah.
So I do not have to come back until the 17th?
17th would be the public hearing, yes.
I would recommend you be here for that.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had a city council meeting next Monday that I had to be to or not.
We do, but that won't be addressed.
Good.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice meeting you folks.
Welcome to the community.
We're looking forward to it, believe it or not.